Modifiers are one of the trickiest questions you can encounter on the digital SAT's grammar or the writing part. But the best way to deal with these questions is to make sure to identify which noun or which word they modify. Modify in the sense they give more detail or more information about the noun they are modifying. Mostly the modifiers start with verbs or maybe subordinating conjunctions. If they're starting with verbs, then find out what is the subject for that verb. Once you identify the subject, that is nothing but the noun the modifier is modifying. Let's see a question to deal with this. Let's understand the concept of modifiers using a question from one of the college board mocks. The question says, which choice completes the text so that it conforms to the conventions of standard English? Let's have a look at the text now. In 1453, English King Henry VI became unfit to rule after falling gravely ill. As a result, Parliament appointed Richard, 3rd Duke of York, who had a strong claim to the English throne, to rule as Lord Protector. Upon recovering 2 years later, Dash forcing an angered Richard from the royal court and precipitating a series of battles later known as the Wars of the Roses. Let's focus on the specific sentence in which we have the blank. So it says, upon recovering 2 years later. So someone recovered 2 years later. So from the text above, we know that English King Henry VI became unfit because he fell gravely ill. Right? One thing is for sure that Henry VI was ill and probably he recovered 2 years later. And if you look at the answer choices, we have Henry in each answer choice. Option A has Henry, option B has Henry, so does C and D as well. So one thing is for sure that Henry recovered 2 years later. Okay. Now, according to the modifier rule, whichever noun is being modified or whichever word is being modified, that word should come right next to the modifier. So this is our modifier upon recovering 2 years later. So according to the modifier rule, the word Henry should come right after comma. It means the word Henry should come in this blank. Now, if you follow this rule, two answer choices we can straight away eliminate. Options B and D are out. Because according to option B, the rain recovered 2 years later. According to option D, it recovered 2 years later. We have no idea what it is referring to. That leaves us with answers A and C. And this is where SAT plays the trick by using an apostrophe. Now, if you look, let's keep aside option A for a moment and look at option C. C says Henry's reign resumed. Now here, the noun is not Henry. It is actually Henry's reign. So according to option C, Henry's reign recovered 2 years later. So reign has not recovered. Henry recovered. And that gives us a chance to eliminate option C as well. And we have option A as our answer. So according to option A, Henry resumed his reign. So you can see, upon recovering 2 years later, Henry resumed his reign, forcing an angered Richard from the royal court and precipitating a series of battles later known as the Wars of the Roses. This is the simple way to deal with modifier questions. First thing, you identify what is the modifier. Once you identify the modifier, then check the modifier has to modify which noun or pronoun or whichever word. And once you get that answer, then you can work on the answer choices and eliminate those that do not provide the right modifying. Now, remember, the modifier should be kept closer to the noun or pronoun or whatever it is modifying. If you follow this rule, getting modifier questions correct would be too easy.